The Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee sort of back at it again. They've been producing these TV campaign ads. They're trying to help boost the Trump-supporting Republican candidates. This time, the most recent time, is happening in Western Michigan.
Christina Thompson has that story. She joins us now for more on how Democrats are trying to spread their campaign money around and try and pick Republican candidates. What's going on here, Christina?
You guys, I know it sounds a little bit backwards, but the Democrats want to flip that key seat in Western Michigan next Tuesday. They think a MAGA candidate will be easier to beat than the current holder, Peter Meijer, who was one of the 10 House Republicans who voted to impeach former President Donald Trump. Now, the DCCC's 30-second spot warns that Gibbs, who is the opponent, John Gibbs, is too conservative for Western Michigan. We're going to play some of it for you.
I don't really know what the Democrats are doing. I don't really keep up with it that much. I think I did see it. You know, it is very interesting that what their strategy is. I think they believe that I'll be easier to beat in the general, which is absolutely false.
So I talked with John Gibbs earlier today about that commercial, which targets GOP primary voters who could be pushed towards him for his Trump ties. It also helps to give him more name recognition throughout the district. Gibbs told me that he's fluent in Japanese. He served in Japan performing Christian missions work. He's helped churches reach the vulnerable. He aided in homeless outreach. Now, to the Japanese, he says this. You can hear what he says.
John Gibbs ni投票してください.
For those of us out there who don't speak Japanese, that's him saying, vote for me in their language. Now, he's a Michigan native. Gibbs is the grandson of a black sharecroppers from the Deep South. He's also the first in his family to attend college. He graduated with a BS in computer science from Stanford University, and then he went on to receive his master's degree from Harvard. But Bianca, John, he has so many qualifications. Will this strategy from the left backfire during the general election? What are your guys' thoughts?
Well, you know, I have this rule that I've adopted from physics. You know, they have Newton's third law of physics. Every action has an equal opposite reaction. In politics, you know, every action has an equal and disproportionately an unintended consequence, if you will, Christina. So I would imagine this will backfire in their faces, probably.
You know, it's interesting that the physics knowledge he can lay down, you know, the journalism knowledge. We get a little bit of everything here on the show. Obviously, it's a risky strategy. And, you know, I hate to say time will tell, but we don't know.
I would imagine there are Democratic candidates out there feeling scorned because they need money for their own campaigns. Yeah. But here you go. Well, let's talk a little bit more about this and what else is going on with another race in Michigan and welcome in gubernatorial candidate Tudor Dixon. She joins us now. Great to have you back with us, Tudor.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right, so tell us about what's going on with your campaign and how Democrats are throwing their money around trying to defeat you.
Yeah, so it's a very similar situation, except we are the only race in the nation where Democrats are coming in and attacking me specifically. They have been building up the weakest candidate. They must think that my four opponents are weak and they can go against them in the general because they've put $2 million into attacking me. They've come out with an ad that is trying to get me knocked out of the primary. This is a lot of money to put behind me in the last 7 days of the campaign to try to get me out of there. We're not seeing this anywhere in the country, and that's because Gretchen Whitmer is extremely weak. They know she's vulnerable. They know she's incompetent. They know that the people of Michigan are not going to vote for her, and they know that I'm the best person to make sure she doesn't go back into office in Michigan and certainly doesn't travel on to Washington, D.C.
And they make it sound like you are against the police, which was interesting. And, you know, I think that's a tactic that you're going to see from Democrats and just forget about their whole past and everything Democrats have said about defunding the police.
Right, absolutely. Well, this is a governor who has said she supports the spirit of defund the police. So it's ironic that they would come out, especially when the Police Officers Association of Michigan has come out and said they've endorsed me. They think I'm the best candidate to go into office and ultimately support our police officers. I've always been incredibly supportive of our police officers. I've made it very clear that I take a strong stance on rule of law and making sure that people in the community understand that the police are there to support us and that it is our job to also support them. Certainly as elected officials, I would expect our elected officials to come out and support the police. Gretchen Whitmer has a proven track record of not supporting the police. Even our last shooting in Grand Rapids, she came out and she spoke in her statement against the police. So now to have them come out and say and put all of this money behind this ad saying, targeting me and attacking me and saying that I don't support the police is outrageous. I'm hoping that the people of Michigan will see that the reality is here that Democrats are afraid of me. They think that I will get Gretchen out of office. They know that that's going to happen. They're afraid of her running on her record, which is terrible. They know that she's shown that she's completely incompetent as a leader, and they're afraid of me, so they're running this to try to get me out of the way.
So
don't forget, too, hold on one second. Yeah. She had that weird Fauci pillow, too, in the background of her shot, too. That I think is most concerning, that Fauci pillow. But anyway, sorry, Bianca. I had to
No. I mean, I was going to go back to all the draconian lockdowns that so many people in your state felt under Whitmer. And, you know, not only law and order, let's talk about education and what, you know, parents want to see happen in this next election. There's a new poll out, Tudor, commissioned by the American Federation of Teachers. Education becoming too politicized, it found, defined as the biggest problem with public schools. And the majority of people were dissatisfied with the amount of say that parents have in how their children and what their children are taught. How do you see that playing out in your state of Michigan? Obviously, it's, you know, coming into gender issues. So outside of law and order, it may also come down to what parents will no longer put up with.
Absolutely. That's our biggest message, is to go out there and bring back education in the state of Michigan. We've been in a steady decline, but now you see some of these radical concepts being brought into our schools. And right now our kids can't even read. We have a 50% failure rate on our literacy exams. This governor had the opportunity to get kids reading scholarships, to get them back on track after our once-in-a-lifetime crisis in education. She chose not to do that. The trajectory we're on right now would have us in the bottom 5 states in the nation come 2030, and we're still fighting against these concepts of gender, these pornographic books that are in the school libraries, the DEI, the CRT. Our Detroit superintendent says that Detroit public schools are deeply using CRT, and they have a nearly 90% failure in literacy rate in the city of Detroit public schools. Why would we continue to allow that and not hold our schools accountable to teaching reading, writing, math, and accurate history?
I want to put that poll back on the screen if we could for 1 second and just talk a little bit more about this. And I know it's going to be big in Michigan, but it's also going to be big across the country. And what we're seeing here is, you know, all those lines in blue show previous years where Democrats had the advantage on the issue of education. Who do you trust more? And you see the red line on the very bottom there. It's -4 now for Democrats, which means it's +4 for Republicans. And so based on the CRT stuff, based on all this gender stuff that we see pushed in schools, Republicans now have the advantage when it comes to trust on education. The other key thing about this, which I think could be big for your race too, Tudor, is that non-white voters really feel the strongest about this. They have lost confidence in the Democratic Party. And I know that's a big deal in Michigan and elsewhere.
Yeah, we have a strong plan that comes out and trusts parents. I think that's important for people to know, that what our plan is to come out and give parents choice, to make sure that we have choice in the state of Michigan. And the Democrats know that the parents are looking for an option right now. They want their kids. Their kids are the future. Kids are the most important asset you have, right? That's what you want to give the best possible life to. And so we have this plan to make sure that parents are involved in education in a way they never have been in the state of Michigan. And that's why you see the Democrats coming out and attacking us right now, because they know that's a winning message. Mm-hmm. They know that bringing back family in the state of Michigan is a winning message. And on the flip side of that, you have Governor Whitmer right now, who is actually vetoing options for families. She just, in the latest budget, she vetoed grants for parents who want to adopt children. Family is not her message. It is my message, and that's why they're so heavily attacking us.
I know most Americans do feel like children are the future, but when you listen to some of these progressive Democrats sometimes, they don't like kids. They don't want kids in their, in their cities, and they think, kids belong with the government, in these government schools. That's really where the kids belong, locked away to be never seen or never heard from again. Anyway, Tudor Dixon, great to see you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. I want to tell you about the Patriot Gold Group. But first, let me tell you that the S&P has already lost $8.2 trillion in 2022. Did you know that? Peak inflation is not even hit despite the Fed rate hikes on groceries, on gas. You know it as well as I do. Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs are warning of another 20% drop. Inflation is winning in a knockout right now. The Fed is going to raise rates again at the end of July. Meanwhile, Goldman, Wells Fargo, and Bloomberg are all forecasting gold to surpass all-time highs. If you want to invest in gold, call 888-936-2373 now. Call the Patriot Gold Group today and ask about their no-fee-for-life IRA. Sounds like a good deal, don't it? Here's the number, 888-936-2373. 888-936-2373 for the Patriot Gold Group.